It's a question that everybody asks themselves at some point. Am I ugly? Are you ugly? Let's find out. Now, I'm going to assume right now that you, the person watching this video, isn't ugly. Let me explain. I've never been too fixated on how I looked. I was blessed with a high metabolism and a slender body, so I always assumed that I wasn't unattractive, but wasn't too worried about if I was attractive either. Lucky me. Now, I'd love to live in a world where looks truly don't matter. I try to live my own life that way, but unfortunately, science says otherwise. Economics professor Galena Hale followed the careers of 752 economists just to see if their looks had any effect on their career trajectories. Not only were the hot economists more likely to find early career success, the economic papers that they wrote were cited more often by researchers as well. And I'm going to assume that they were just regular old boring economy papers, not hentai. Professor Hale surmised that because these economists grew up looking more beautiful, quote unquote, that afforded them some societal advantages, particularly confidence. Research aside, looks aren't everything. The reality TV show Love is Blind tries to answer this question. Can you fall in love with somebody no matter what they look like? And after 10 seasons, it's become very apparent that the answer is no.
Like, just to be totally honest, and like, without sounding like a fucking dickhead, like in the normal world, like, I date people who like fucking do like fucking CrossFit and shit.
But we should remember that beauty standards differ from culture to culture. What people think is hot in Japan is gonna look different than what people consider hot in Brazil. But even if you grow up in the same culture, what people find attractive is going to vary from person to person. For example, I'm gay, and I think that big, strong, hairy guys are the hottest men on the planet. But other people might like evil little twinks. Why? Probably a combination of how people were raised and natural factors. That said, if you're a guy and you think you're unattractive, what should you do? Some people think you should try Looksmaxxing, a process where young men are trying to maximize their physical attractiveness. Like me, you might think that means highlighting the parts of yourself that you think are attractive, but no, you just try to look like this. And if you don't look like this, you do everything you can to look like this, which I personally don't find that attractive, but that aside. It started in involuntarily celibate forums. And call me stupid, dumb, and I am a bit dumb. But I don't think you should be taking your beauty advice from men who can't get laid, especially not an entire forum of them. So how do you Looksmaxx? A lot of the stuff that I've seen appears to be just a rebrand of creating a simple self-care routine. Exfoliating your face, making sure your skin is moisturized, getting your hair done on a regular basis. But then there's some stuff more on the sillier side, like face sculpting, where you try to mold your face. And for what I saw, a lot of actual plastic surgeons have debunked that will do anything. Some of these Looksmaxxers will turn to plastic surgery to achieve this look. Now, I'm not anti-plastic surgery. If there's a procedure out there that'll make you feel more attractive and assured in the way that you look, I think you should go ahead and get it. But there are some new procedures that have me a bit worried. For men who are insecure about their height, a relatively new procedure called leg lengthening surgery has begun to gain a bit of popularity. The procedure involves breaking both of your legs, and it's not funny.
The procedure involves implanting a steel device into the upper bone on both legs.
We use the remote control to slowly separate the bone. This is the remote control.
The remote control signals the device to pull the bones apart, 1 millimeter at a time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
The body makes new bone to fill in the gap.
So I push this button, and then what happens?
Once you push the button, then that's when you start growing.
Awesome.
The cost? a whopping $75,000.
This is then followed by a 1 to 2 year recovery period that requires extensive physical therapy. I don't know, probably because you just broke both of your fucking legs. While doom scrolling, I came across a man who went through with this procedure, and by all means, he was really attractive. He worked out regularly, had a great body, I'd say a pretty nice face if you ask me. And what caught me off guard about this man getting the surgery is that he was already 6 feet tall. The average height for men around the world is 5'7". Like yours truly, hold your applause, I'm super average. So this guy was already well above that average and still chose to go through this invasive procedure to become 6'6". It made me wonder, is this really worth it? And you ask him, the answer is no.
Oh, in my particular case, the answer is I would not do this again, no. But I know a lot of people that their answer would be, I'm so glad that I didn't know because I'm glad I got this done, but there's no way that I would have done it had I known this. Which is a different answer, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of circumstances in which people couldn't imagine going through what they went through, but after they were done it, they were glad for the outcome though.
Yeah,
so with that in mind though, you know, I would say that's the context of the question. Like you would say to yourself, don't do it because this is the hardship you're gonna encounter.
I would have said, save up all of your money, right? If you still want to do this, but trust me, in 2 years, you're not gonna give a crap about your height anymore. So so weather it out, right? Which is ironic. I don't even care right now. I don't.
Looksmaxxing preys on young men's insecurities, convincing them that they have no value in society unless they look like this. I worry that they are going to be pushed to do things to their body that they'll ultimately regret. It ignores all the things that make you an attractive and well-rounded person. I recently watched an interview with Looksmaxxing influencer Clavicular on the Adam Friedland show. God, it's so hard to say. Clavicular has gone to great lengths to max out his looks. He's working out, he's got the skincare routine, he's face sculpting, and he's even admitted to using crystal meth to help him control his diet.
So I actually do have a new lean maxing strategy that's quite controversial. I basically blasted a ton of different Adderalls and amphetamines for about 3 days and stayed awake. For 3 days, I spammed a combination of Adderall and methamphetamine for appetite suppression. And I literally went on a 3-day fast and stayed awake the entire time. And I lost 5 pounds. Like I said, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm some good influence. Don't do that, don't do that. That's what I did. I'm crazy, right? I'm the crazy guy. I was tweaking the fuck out. So yeah, I was essentially doing meth for hollow cheeks.
What struck me in this interview is that whenever he was asked about his hobbies or anything he likes to do for fun, he genuinely seemed stumped and had nothing to say.
What do you do for fun? Like what's?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, I don't do anything besides stream.
Come on, bro. You gotta have fun.
Yeah, fuck no.
Why fuck no, dude?
I would rather, the way I think about it is like when I'm doing anything off camera that's like an activity, I'm like, I could be streaming this getting paid right now.
Come on, dude. You can't just make it. You gotta have you separate a little bit.
Well, think about it, right? There's literally people who do shit like mini golf and bowling and like go and hang out with like, go to dinner dates with girls. Off stream, they're not getting paid, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, doesn't that fuck with you a little bit? Like, there's people who actually do
You
this
think
shit.
that's what people are primarily doing, or you make dinner with your
Listen,
girl, you put on a girl show.
Stream it, bro.
You do face. No, I don't know. I actually like want a private life, and I had to learn that.
Dude, I want my fucking hourly.
But we have to remember that Clavicular, God, I said it right that time. We have to remember that Clavicular is only 20 years old. When I was 20 years old, I was hyperfixated on doing improv comedy, which we will not talk about in this video. As you get older, you begin to hyperfixate less on the things that matter to you as a teenager. whether it be video games, pop stars, improvisational comedy, or looking like this. Life is going to come at you with a variety of challenges that will force you to either grow and adapt or stay the same and wither. Take me for example. When I was 23, my mom died very abruptly, and I tried to fill that void with incredibly regrettable and empty sex. I became isolated from most of my family, almost ended up homeless quite a few times, struggled with thoughts of suicide on and off, and how could I forget doing way too much improv comedy. But look at me today. I'm 30, officially in Unk territory. I really take care of myself. I journal on a regular basis, have a lot of fun goals that I'm working towards every day, and I've got a therapist to help me keep my mental health in check. Honestly, I feel like this is the hottest that I've ever been. And I did all of this without Looksmaxxing. But this is about you. Are you ugly? Probably not. As I said before, everybody is somebody's type. But if you think you're ugly and want to feel more secure in yourself, what should you do? I sat down with a professional therapist to get some answers on this.
I'm Allison Smith. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I work as a therapist, and I'm a comedian after hours.
Hell yeah. A profession that known for having the hottest people.
Which one? Social work or comedy?
Comedy?
100%, yeah.
If I am a person who is feeling pretty insecure about the way that I look, whether I have a weird thing on my face or I don't like the proportions of my body, if I'm physically uncomfortable with the way that I look and don't like the reflection that I'm seeing, what are some things that I can do to change that perception and become more secure in myself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think first is focusing on the things you can control rather than the things that you can't, right? So you can always control how you treat people, how you're responsive, the way you reach out to people, the way that you show up, and a lot of attraction also lives in all of these spaces. So if you're letting all of that go for the gym to chase this unattainable prize, to want to be taller, right? Some of these things are not in our control. Nobody has a body that they feel 100% perfect about. Nobody does. Mm-hmm. There are people that you look up to where you're like, if I had that body, that would be everything. But I think we don't realize that there's always somebody who would feel that way about you, that for whatever reason that you're their goal, you're their after picture, that, your abilities and all these other things. So I think part of it too is also being less focused on that destination. It's kind of the growth mindset. Think about your body, what it does. It's keeping you breathing, it's digesting your food. If you want to feel stronger, right? You can want to feel stronger. If you want to be faster, you can want to be faster. But the aesthetic of it, which is really arbitrary, is a harder thing, Think about what your body does for you and then things that you can actually enjoy and use,
Yeah.
Because if you're working on your jump and then you get to play basketball with people and you get to have these social interactions, then cool. If you're working on your jump so you can tell somebody about it on the internet, I guess I'm not clear what the point of that was.
Yeah, so maybe starting from a point of doing things that are going to benefit you as a person.
Yeah, you have to live in it. It's not about other people's approval,
Starting with things that you can control and also trying to make an adjustment not for the validation of other people, but to feel what? I don't know.
Yeah, it's your body, right? You're gonna use the benefit of it. So if you're enjoying working out or you're enjoying these things, that's all cool. You know what I mean? If you want to be able to play sports, you want to be able to do things with people, or this is a good social thing for you. But I think forgetting the fact that people care about how you make them feel more than what they're looking at, Mm-hmm. There are a lot of uggos that have really cool hot partners. There are a lot of very hot people that cannot do anything to save their life. So that clearly can't be the math.
I think about that all the time.
You're how did you get that, dude? What are some other tangible things a person who's feeling insecure about their looks can do to move forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as corny as it sounds, it's I think a gratitude practice is helpful in these situations because it's sort of we have a soup, it's got a ton of salt. salt in it of like all of these negative thoughts that keep coming up. So like, let's at least add some of the seasoning that we do want to balance it out, because we're also training our brain to look for that stuff, right? So, you know, thinking about some nice things that you can say about yourself, or that you do like, or that you do appreciate. And honestly, if you really literally hate your entire body, you can at least be grateful that you're like breathing, or that your like heart is beating. That's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know? So I think even if it's really small things, like trying to add that so that you're kind of training yourself to not only look for something to be negative about.
Yeah. That's so good. In my journal, at the end I'll like write down some things that I'm just like happy for that make me grateful. It's a very scary world, very scary time. You know, sometimes it is like just like naming that.
Because we take that for granted. Like we miss that. Like we're built to focus actually on stuff that needs fixing, you know, and not stuff that's working well. And like, I also, you know, obviously I'm a believer in therapy, that like having a person that you can talk to, that you can trust, that you can like get that reflected is very helpful. And especially if like a lot of this thinking starts to become compulsive, you know, which I think it does. I think a lot of the people that we're talking about like have eating disorders, you know, have like, and I'm not saying that like severely, you know. So what would the support look like? There are specialists who can help you find a path out of that place. Yeah. You don't have to just double down and keep going. You can try to find another path. You don't have to know what it is. You can ask for help.
Yeah, turning to your community and talking to people about how you feel.
Because when you have good relationships and people that make you feel good and that care about you, you're gonna be less in pain and you're gonna be less self-critical. That just is gonna be true. So if we don't have enough community, then like try to invest in getting it.
I don't agree with 98% of whatever the Looksmaxxing movement tells you to do, but I do think it is always a good idea to work on your mental and physical health. I can confidently say that after years of being hyper self-critical of myself, I like the way I look, and I think I'm a pretty cool person too. And although this is the most secure that I've ever felt in my entire life, I still have a terrible time with dating. And I feel insecure about my body every now and then. And that's normal. Instead of focusing on your looks, just focus on your health, your hobbies, your short and long-term goals, as well as building a loving and supportive community around you. And I'm sure that you'll become much, much more valuable than somebody just trying to look like this, which honestly looks pretty fucking mid to me. Guys, gals, thank you so much for listening to this week's Yap-A-Thon. It was really interesting to make. Again, I really didn't think too much about my looks until I started writing this piece, but after feeling a bit insecure about my own looks recently, I said, oh, we give this a shot. Especially once I heard that people were using meth to control the way that they look. That's crazy to me, bro. But yes, I'll be coming out with videos like these about every 2 weeks. If you have a suggestion for a video that you might want me to write an essay on, go ahead and send an email in to Ask Dave Comedy. And if you'd like to check out the full discussion I did with Allison, go ahead and watch that video here. It was a really fun, cool discussion on beauty standards, insecurity, and how you can improve the way that you feel about your own looks. Go ahead and check out our weekly podcast where you can also send in questions that we'll answer on the show. I have a really fun podcast coming up this upcoming week, so stay tuned for that. And if you're in Los Angeles, go ahead and, well, even if you're not in Los Angeles, go ahead and follow the page on Instagram at DavidIsComedy. I'll be posting any live shows that I'll be doing in town. You can come out and see. Maybe if you're in Ohio, you want to come to Los Angeles and see one of the shows, you can come do that too. But aside from that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will We. There's more people at work behind the scenes. There's at least one other person at work behind the scenes here. I'll see you soon, and stay in touch. And I love you. Bye.